Hey everyone, Caddy Llama coming back at you with another anime review. Last night I was able to watch a anime called Deca-Dence on Hulu, and it was a very interesting anime. I say that probably more often than I probably should, but it definitely was very interesting. Uh, this one's going to have um, a little bit more spoilers in it. You know, I've been pretty vague in some of my reviews recently, trying not to. I'm trying to find a good balance between telling enough of the story, but not giving away too many spoilers or anything like that. So this one's going to have a little bit more. I'm going to go into a little bit more of the story, just because I think that to give people like a good, a good vibe of the show. I think that a little bit of detail about the story is needed. I find that sometimes when I'm getting interested in something new, I can get hooked by somebody telling me a little bit of the story, and excuse me, and so I'm gonna go a little bit more into that. Um, in this anime, um, we have um, pretty much two main characters, uh, Natsu, Nat, uh, Natsume and Kirigari, I think his name is. Kaburagi, that's what it is. Kaburagi. And a few side characters, but it's really just these two main characters through the whole show. Um, it's a end of the world, human extinction type show. Takes place obviously in the future, where humanity's basically been pushed to the very end. Um, when I was watching it at the beginning, it reminded me of this show back in the early 2000s called Blue Harvest. It's very similar, like humanity's on the edge. They're in a war against these bug type creatures called the Blue, but uh, that's pretty much where the similarities end. Like in this one, we start off episode one, we figure out that humanity is all of humanity is basically living on this traveling fortress known as the Deca-Dence, and um, they are in a battle for survival against an alien or some species called the Gadol. And then, um, very, very intriguing on episode one. I was super excited. Uh, and then it takes just like an immediate right hand turn on episode two. And I was like, what? What is going on here? So, episode two is all about we learned that there is a specific group that lives on the Deca-Dence, um, that are called the Gears, and they are the guys that go out and fight all the Gadol, and um, they all look different. They look like ogres, and they're different colors, and the humans are told that these people have been told the humans have been told that this group has specifically evolved to fight the Gadol, and so that's why they are the ones that go out and fight them. And there's really no humans that go. There's a small group, but really no humans go out and fight the Gadol. And the reason for that is we come to find out that uh, there's a second group of species on the planet Earth that are just androids that have taken control of most of the planet, and they're kind of keeping humans in this like preserve where the Decadence kind of moves around, and they have the Gadol trapped there, and they basically plug into this dome this preserve like it's the Matrix. You know, the androids do, and they play as the Gears, where they go out and fight the Gadol for fun. You know, and they're living virtual reality lives, but in reality inside this controlled space. And nobody knows. Nobody knows. The humans literally think that they are, you know, fighting this war to end, you know, to beat the Gadol, and they don't know that it's literally been going on for thousands of years. That the population is controlled to keep humans under control, and and um, they basically, uh, you know, there's a whole bunch of little tiny things that happen throughout the show, you know, and we get to watch Natsume and Kabu go through this long story of her moving up and, you know, becoming a frontline fighter, and you know, she's moved up from what they call tankers, which are just like, you know, they repair the weapons and they repair the Deca-Dence, and they keep the other guys, the Gears, you know, in combat. That's basically their job. And it's about, you know, the whole story is about her moving up through the ranks and becoming a fighter, and then becoming a very good fighter, and you know, the unraveling of all of this stuff, you know. By the end of it, I found it very similar to kind of like the Matrix, where, you know, this process has been repeated over and over and over again, and they just kind of keep everybody plugged into this system, and they keep everybody in line, and then when the system gets out of hand, they shut it down, start it back up, and they just do it again, you know, um, and it's very good, you know. I think that the twists and the turns throughout the show are very, very well paced, to where they're dribbling a little bit to you, you know, through every episode. They keep you kind of on the edge of your seat, wanting to know when are we going to figure this all out? When are the humans going to figure it out? Because we learn it very early on, and we're just waiting for the humans to figure it out. And the art style, I think, is very, very good. What's interesting here is that there's definitely two different art styles that they use. One is to tell the story of the Deca-Dence and what's happening inside the dome. The second art style is for the androids and the robots and what's happening in their world. This is very, very well drawn. A little bit of CGI. Very similar to Attack on Titan's art style, because the combat is very similar. You know, how they fight is very similar to that. This is very bubblegum, shitty, I don't want to say bad art, but it's definitely bubblegum kid art. You know, this is very good. This is a completely different world. But you know, it's meant to do that, to show you these are two different worlds that they're living in, and the distinction between the two. I felt that this storyline with the Deca-Dence could have been its own storyline. We did not need this android storyline. I think it makes it an interesting story. I think the android part makes it to where it sets it apart a little bit different than other anime. You know, if it's just the Deca-Dence, then basically it's just a recreation of the anime I referenced earlier. It is Blue Harvest. If it's, you know, if it's just this storyline with the Deca-Dence. The android part, where they're plugging into basically avatar-like bodies, keeps it keeps it a little different. You know, um, it's basically just one season. I don't know. It's only 12 episodes long. Um, I don't know how they could make a second season. They pretty much wrap most of it up in one, in this one season. They tell the whole story very well. Um, there's no real slow pace to it or anything like that. There wasn't a part where I got too bored or anything. I mean, the stuff with the androids is I found kind of okay. It definitely wasn't as entertaining as the Decadence stuff, but no show is perfect. So you gotta live with the flaws a little bit. So it's very enjoyable. I think that if you like a little mystery in your animes, you like a little suspense where the story is unraveled to you slowly over time. I think you really enjoy it. I think there's stuff where not main storyline stuff, but little tiny pieces that we're still learning even in the final episode, and that was enjoyable. Even the little tiny things I was still trying to figure out, and I was still wanting to hear. So I wish we could have got a little bit more look at how everything ends up, because they kind of just end it very, very quickly. We get a look at how everything ended up, boom, and then the show's over. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more look there, but still pretty much answered all the questions. And very enjoyable, maybe a little disappointed that there's not going to be probably a second season. I found this one actually rather enjoyable. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on Hulu, and not too bad. But yeah, that's it for this one. Go ahead and hit me up in the comments section if you've seen Deca-Dence, any anime that you felt it was similar like, that you want me to check out, you think I should check out. Hit the like and subscribe button. Gonna keep pumping these anime reviews out. Started another one this morning. I'll work through it and get that one up tomorrow and see what you guys think. But that's it for this one. Catch you guys in the next one.